The protesters waved Malian flags and chanted anti-UN slogans. Others carried Russian flags as they marched through the streets of the capital. Mali's army government has had a frosty relationship with the UN mission, culminating in July in the detention of Ivorian soldiers after branding them mercenaries. MINUSMA has done nothing here. We want them to leave. We're here to show the international community that we no longer want MINUSMA. We don't care about MINUSMA. We love our country. We want our soldiers, led by Colonel Assimi Goita. They can go back to their homes and stay there. We don't need their help anymore. Assimi Goita is enough for us. The Malian youth are enough. In July, Bamako suspended rotations for peacekeeping forces before reversing the decision a month later. The mission, also known as MINUSMA, has been in the West African country since 2013. This solar train is a product of the ingenuity of South African teenagers. Photovoltaic panels fitted on the roof, the test train moves on an 18-meter-long track installed on the grounds of a school. If scaled, solar trains could revolutionize the country's rail transport, which is beset by power cuts.
Our parents, the mode of transport that they normally use is train. From home, they use train to go to work, and they use train from work to home. But then the issue is that they no longer use trains as part of their main source of transport. Reason being, the cable theft have been stolen in the train stations, and also reason of load shedding. So that's where we came across the solution that why don't we actually create and build a solar-powered train.
Fitted with car seats and a flat-screen TV to entertain passengers, it took the students 2 years to build. The train, which can run at 30 kilometers per hour, was showcased at a recent university's innovation event. For now, the prototype can run for 10 return trips on the experimental track.
What we have realized is if you give township learners space, resources, and some little bit of mentorship, they can do anything.
The journey has not been without its challenges. A lack of funding delayed production of the prototype locomotive, and the government later chipped in. Trains are the cheapest mode of transport in South Africa, used mostly by the poor and working class. But in recent years, infrastructure operator Transnet has struggled to keep rail traffic flowing smoothly since the economic challenges of the pandemic fueled a surge in cable theft. Sao Tome and Principe's ruling coalition could lose its parliamentary majority in Sunday's election to the center-right Independent Democratic Action (ADI) after being rocked by internal disunity. The center-left movement for the liberation of Sao Tome and Principe-Social Democratic Party has held a thin majority in the 55-seat National Assembly since 2018, thanks to an alliance with the Democratic Convergence Party. But the outfit has since quit the coalition. Only two parties have dominated Sao Tome politics since it became independent from Portugal in 1975. Some 100,000 voters are eligible to cast their ballots on Sunday.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome...
At the UN General Assembly, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, President of Guinea-Bissau and Ecowas Acting Chair, seized the opportunity to draw the attention of world leaders on the evolution of terrorism in the Sahel regions. The stability of a large part of our continent in general, and the West Africa in particular, is threatened by insecurity caused by terrorism, violent extremism, and transnational crime. We must necessarily involve the entire international community and the UN in particular. For the President of Niger, who is chairing the high-level panel on security and development in the Sahel, he beckoned on the international community to invest in education to fight against violence and prevent terrorism. The population and the degradation of the climate in combination have created, thanks to the regional disorder following the fall of the regime of Colonel Gaddafi in 2011, the situation of chaos that the countries of the Sahel are experiencing today. We must act by investing in the necessary resources in education to fight against today's violence and prevent tomorrow's violence. In December last year, the African Union and the UN pledged to work together in tandem with Ecowas and the G5 Sahel to improve the overall response to security, governance and development across the Sahel. As Malian authorities held the traditional military parade Thursday to mark the country's Independence Day in the presence of the head of Guinea's military junta, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya, West African leaders were meeting in New York to attend the UN General Assembly on the sideline. They agreed at the emergency summit Thursday to impose gradual sanctions on Guinea's junta over its flexibility on setting a date to return to civilian rule. A summary of the meeting said that the leaders agreed on gradual sanctions on a list of people linked to Guinean junta who would be identified very soon by the bloc's leadership. The West African bloc has been struggling with a string of military coups in the region for the past 2 years. Mali underwent coups in August 2020 and May 2021, followed by Guinea in September 2021 and Burkina Faso in January. Ecowas has lifted tough sanctions that had been imposed on Mali's military regime, accepting a March 2024 return to civilian rule. But Mali and Guinea remain suspended from Ecowas bodies. Ecowas also condemned the arrest of Ivorian soldiers and had decided to send the President of Ghana, Togo and Senegal to Mali to obtain their release on Thursday, on Tuesday, September 27.